Hello, my friends, and welcome. Welcome back to another session with the older man. Today, I want to talk about attachment styles. So, what the hell is it? Well, that's what we're going to get into today, my friends, because I had this discussion with my wife this morning. We were watching, she saw me watching a video on one of the podcasts. And of course, like most of these shows, the girl went on about, well, what is if he cheats? Anytime you give a man some attention or when you're good to him, he will immediately go out and start cheating. I was watching it on the TV and she just happened to pass. And she said, what is wrong with these women? And it got me thinking, yeah, what is wrong with these women? Why is it that a woman or man, but mostly women, and because I'm talking to you gentlemen, I want you to identify the problem. Why is it that a woman thinks that if she gives a man her all and her attention and her love, that he's going to cheat on her? Whereas we know as men that if we find a woman that treats us really good, that's the gem. That is the freaking diamond in the rough. That is the needle in the haystack that we want. We don't leave that. We don't leave women like that. Why would a man leave a good woman? Especially if that man wants a relationship. I'm not talking about the players that just want to hit and quit. I'm talking about the men who want relationships. They don't leave. Men like that don't leave relationships. But this woman was just going on and on and on about, that's what all men do. And of course, all the other women on the freaking panel said the same damn thing. They started trumpeting after her because, women, the minute one says something, the rest of them are going to back her up. Now, I can't play the video here because Myron and these guys on Fresh and Fit, they've been blocking these videos that we've been sharing, so I can't share it. But I'm sure you guys have seen it many times. So it got me to thinking, why is it that these women think this way? Now, I remember reading a book a while back called How to Not Die Alone by Logan Ury. And this is the book here. I got introduced to her and the book because she was on the podcast Diary of a CEO. And I really like this woman simply because even though the book is written more for females, put it this way, it's more in a female's voice. Well, she is a female. That's the only voice she knows, right? But you know what I'm talking about, gentlemen. But I like it, and it stuck with me because she approached relationships from a scientific perspective. She tends to break down things and examples not from the feelings perspective, but from a scientific perspective. And she quoted that there are 3 different attachment styles. And I wanted to basically introduce you guys to this and to show you that, listen, if you're looking for a relationship, you got to find the right woman for you. But in this search, you have to identify where the problems lie when it comes to understanding how an individual is thinking about a relationship. So whoever's listening to this, whether you're male or female, these traits or characteristics are prominent in both parties. So the 3 attachments are secure attachment, anxious attachment, and avoidant attachment. So these are the 3 that I want to discuss today. More than 50% of people have the best trait, which is secure attachment. And let me read you the definition of secure attachment. Individuals with this style are comfortable with intimacy and independence. They find it easy to form close relationships while also maintaining a healthy sense of self. In other words, that's the person like my dear wife. She's quite comfortable with herself. She has her independent self. In other words, she can survive without me, but she understands the value of me being there and what she also gets from me. The interdependency is also a major part of who she is because she understands that both of us together contributes to a better life for both of us, right? And she understands that even though she could do it by herself, it would be a harder life. Remember what I keep telling you guys. Life isn't about happiness, it's about survival. And the more comfortable you can make your survival, the better life will be. Forget happiness, that's bullshit. Happiness comes from content. You're contented with what you have. That's why a lot of poor people are happy. You don't need to have a lot of money. You don't need to have a lot of things. Happiness just comes from accepting what you have and being satisfied with it. Okay? So she has secure attachment traits. You may be secure if you are comfortable with intimacy, spending time alone, and don't often worry about your relationship. Get it? So being secure and being a secure attached person is the key, which is pretty much in line with what I have. I'm very secure attached. I don't have these other issues. Well, the rest of the population have the other two traits. Now, here's the thing about secure attached people. Even though they make up 50% of the population, they don't make up 50% of the dating pool because most of those people are already married and taken, you see. That's the problem. So now we're now left with avoidance attachment and anxious attachment, right? So before we get into the definition of what avoidance attachment and anxious attachment characteristics are, you need to determine who you are. What style do you have? So these are the questions you got to ask. I'm reading it from her book. If you're curious about your own attachment style, answer these questions. How comfortable are you with intimacy and closeness? How much do you tend to avoid intimacy? How anxious do you feel about your partner's love and interest in you? Do you constantly worry about your relationship? All right, so depending on how many of those you answer where you realize that you are anxious, you may be anxiously attached if you crave closeness, but are insecure about your relationship future and your partner's interest in you. You may be avoidantly attached if you feel uncomfortable when things get too close and you value freedom over connection, okay?
All right, let's go over this again. What do we want? Connection and closeness with another person. Great. And what are we going to do when we get that connection? Sabotage it. No. Avoid vulnerability like the plague. Also no. Run away at the first sign of closeness. Jimmy. Take constructive feedback as an attack. Shut down during conflict, leaving my partner feeling unheard and alone. Nope. Dismiss and invalidate their feelings as irrational. Please don't do that. Numb out and suppress my feelings so far down that I don't even know if they exist anymore. That is not healthy. Be fiercely independent. You can't trust anyone but yourself. Who hurt you? Refuse to take accountability or apologize for anything because that would mean I'm a failure. That is untrue. Reject them before they can reject me. We're gonna get you some help, okay? I think if I'm honest, deep down, I'm just scared of losing myself. What's that? I mean, if I truly let myself love someone and fully take my armor off, I can't protect myself from being hurt. That was so beautiful and so vulnerable, and I really think we can build. So I'm gonna ghost them and then just unknowingly repeat this process with someone else. No, we were so close.
So if you see these characteristics in your partner, you now know what's happening. You can identify it. Knowing what the problem is rather than trying to fix the symptoms of the problem is key. There's nothing worse than having a sickness and not knowing how to cure it because you don't know what it is. You know what I mean? You've been there. I'm sure most of you guys have been there. Anxious attachment. These individuals crave closeness and may worry about their partner's availability or responsiveness. Oh, you didn't text me back quick enough. He didn't text me back quick enough. He always leave me on red. You know, it's been hours. He haven't called me back. You've heard these women. You've heard so many TikTok videos of women complaining about this shit, right? It has become almost a disease now. So I blocked him. Avoidant attachment.
You've hardly texted me today. Did I do something wrong? Are you still into me? Still into us? When you don't text me, this anxious feeling comes up in me and controls how I think and react. I think underneath it all, I'm worried that if you don't reply, that means I'm not good enough for you anymore.
Okay. They often seek reassurance and may feel insecure in relationships. So that's an anxious attachment.
I'm a psychologist, and here's my top 5 signs of an anxious attachment style in your relationship. Number 5, you find it hard to trust them, so you constantly seek reassurance, but sometimes your partner sees that as controlling or clingy. Number 4, you feel dependent on your partner, so when you don't have full access to them, it can bring up feelings of anxiety or even jealousy. Number 3, you have a low opinion of yourself and feel worthless sometimes, but you see your partner in a much more positive light. Number 2, you only feel enough when your partner shows you approval. So you're always striving to be whatever they want you to be. And number 1, you tolerate unhealthy behaviors that you know are toxic because you feel like if it ends, that would confirm that core belief that you're somehow worthless or unlovable. I'm a psychologist, and here's my top 5.
So avoidant attachment, Those with an avoidant attachment value independence and may struggle with intimacy. When you get close to her, she might feel like, oh, okay, I'm getting too close, and she start looking at other men. You know, it's almost like she's struggling hard not to identify that you are the one. They always think that, I need something bigger and better. Yeah, they often keep their distance in relationships to maintain a sense of autonomy. She needs to feel that she's in control of herself.
When someone is trying to get close to me, I will immediately start to feel suffocated. I'll start to feel like I need to find something wrong with you so that you don't get too close, even if I want you to get close. But it's because there's a part of me doesn't want to be vulnerable, because vulnerability in that area means being exposed. It means being raw. I think to put it very simply, I think it's a feeling of, if you really get to know me, you might abandon me. And I think this is not something that's even, on a conscious level, because I have a strong sense of self. I know who I am, etc., etc. But I think there is still those sort of traces from childhood, from everything that I've experienced in my life, that are those remnants of that have that voice that say, if I really let you in and you actually get to know me, you might abandon me. So what I need to do, I need to find a way to get in there first and abandon you before you abandon me.
Those are the ones that work really hard, and they fill their days with a lot of stuff that they need to do. And they use this as an excuse for not getting close. Oh, I'm so busy. I need to work. I was busy today. And it's a constant something before you. Avoidant attachment. So, gentlemen, you have to understand what type of woman you're dealing with. And if you can identify it and point it out to her, then you can cure it. You can just say, hey, babes, listen, I know you have this sort of personality where you don't want to get close to me. I just want you to know that I'm here for you. I want you to feel secure. You're secure that I'm not going anywhere. I want you to feel secure that I'm here to support you and your endeavors. Don't think that you have to cover behind your work, but also realize that I have needs. I want to spend more time with you. I think to nurture our relationship, we need to put some more time, effort into it. We have to water that plant in order for it to grow. So if you're avoiding building the relationship, it's going to ultimately come to an end. If you want it to come to an end, we might as well cut it off now. But you have an avoidance attachment style. Just point it out. And if she wants to know what that is, a quick Google search will easily identify the problem, and she could look it up herself so she know that you're not BSing her. But what's important is she'll see that you're putting some effort into the relationship because you're secure, and she will more than likely then start to say, okay, this is a man that I don't have to be anxious about. This is a man I don't have to be insecure about. He has my back. That's how you foster healthy relationships. All right. Listen, guys, I thought this would be a nice, quick, short one for the weekend. It's Friday here in Dubai, and I just wanted a quick one to get you guys up for the weekend. All right. So subscribe if you haven't already. Book a session with me if you're having problems. Hey, anything at all. If you need mentoring, if you need any problem solved, even your YouTube channel, I'll be able to help you with that. And of course, join our membership system. I've opened it up free for everyone. So come over at school at Ask an Older Man. I'll put the link here, and you can also go and click on it in the description of this video. All right. So until next time, my friends, whenever in doubt, always ask an older man. I'll see you soon. Cheers.